Hello, everybody. Zon gets 134 here.
And as always, I'm your co-host, Average Joe Squad.
And welcome to another episode of Remember the Hyphen, the show where we look at comic books, movies, and everything in between. Again, apologize, like last time, we're recording these back-to-back, so apologies if you can hear the rain.
And of course, we took like a 10-15 minute break to just like relax, and it stopped raining. And then the minute we're like, okay, let's fucking film, bam, it just starts downpouring again. I'm like, what the fuck?
Welcome once again to the Summer of America's Ass, where we review every single Captain America movie except the serials. And once again, we've got yet another pile of shit. So, back when I was born exactly in 1990...
1992 is when this came out.
Well, no, it came out in 1992 for America. It originally came out for Europe in 1990.
Oh, it does say that. Actually, my bad.
No worries, no worries. I only know this because I was watching a bunch of different reviews. This movie only came out for theatrical release in 1990 in Europe. It did so bad, they had to wait 2 years to release this on VHS. So probably most people that grew up, they remember watching it, but they did so from running it from like Blockbuster. Because I think this actually used to be a Blockbuster special for a time.
Christ.
So, yeah. So this is the cover.
This is the Shout Factory Blu-ray Collector's Edition version. My chief complaint with this: there's no fucking subtitles. Which, as someone who usually watches movies late at night when everybody else in the fucking house is asleep,
Same.
pain in my ass.
Yeah.
Because I had to like sit there the whole time with the remote in one hand. Every time they would talk, I had to turn the volume up because I couldn't hear what the fuck they were saying. Then all of a sudden, I would forget about it. Then guns start going off, and it's like somebody's driving a tank through my house.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate that, man. Put fucking subtitles on shit.
Yeah.
My chief complaint with this. Other than that, great quality, looks decent, menus are nice. Put the fucking subtitles on this shit.
Now, if you don't want to waste money on this,
it's on YouTube for free.
The whole thing is on YouTube for free.
I just bought it because I'm a completionist.
Yeah.
I was gonna buy it anyway. It's been on my list for a long ass time. I just finally was like, okay, we're gonna review it. I need to buy it.
No, and I know a lot of people have reviewed this movie, but I promise you, we got some shit to say. So basically, I want to say this was made by like a European company or something like that. I forget exactly, but basically it was
Century.
Yeah, by Century, like it's some European country. But basically, they were given a very small, like little known company, so they didn't have much of a budget when they shot this.
It fucking shows.
Yeah, especially because like I know, like if you look at the suit on the cover, it probably doesn't even look that bad. You know, it looks like you'd think it would, but then you see it in motion, and it looks real bad. So yeah, So I remember I rented this once from the video store. Right, I barely remembered it until like years later when the Nostalgia Critic reviewed it, and I've forgotten how terrible this movie is. Like, I actually think it's in some ways worse than the Red Brown ones.
No, I felt the same thing. I remember telling you that. Like, dude, I thought the Red Brown ones were better, which is fucking sad.
Which is so weird because this gets more right about Captain America than like the Red Brown ones.
It somehow manages to look cheaper in some spots.
Yeah, like
and I
way
don't understand
cheaper.
how that is possible.
My other big complaint is that this film takes place mostly in like Italy and like the rest of Europe. Like this is about Captain America, and it takes place less in America than like any. I mean, granted, I know the first Avenger takes place in Europe too, but like it's about him fighting World War II.
Yeah.
Like,
and while World War II is a part of this movie, it's in the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Once we get to the future, it's like, okay, like I understand we're trying to tie this into the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I'm like, we're talking about Captain America here.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
and that's not to say he can't go other places, but like one of the best things about good Captain America stories, it's about him dealing with like America's problems, or like a threat to America. Like, if there's any man I want to see fighting like neo-Nazis and skinheads,
Cap's my man.
Cap's my man. The only other is like Punisher, but like Punisher does it real messy. But Yeah, so like, because like I said, the sad part is that he even gets his origins down. He was a super soldier in World War II. He gets the super soldier, he gets the super soldier serum. He was sickly. He was, weak. He gets the super soldier serum, and he goes to fight Nazis, and then he gets frozen.
I gotta ask too. Do you think the female character that like in the beginning is like, "I'll wait for you"? Do you think that was where they took some inspiration?
Where they took inspiration from Peggy? I wouldn't be
like. Do you think part of that was
yeah, I actually do. I actually do think because like we've already realized that like they took stuff from the Red Brown movies for Cat,
Falcon Winter Soldier, or at least played homage to it.
So like, I wouldn't be surprised because like to be fair, in the original Cap stories there is no like love interest that Steve had. He just was. Except America. Except America. So yeah. And so, like, but, like, they do some different stuff. Like, for one, Steve isn't a 98-pound asthmatic. And this, he has polio, which, honestly, I kind of think makes sense. That also was a big thing at the time.
Yeah, definitely.
And so, basically, he's given the chance to, like, get his polio cured by being administered the super soldier serum. And so, like, that feels right. But the other thing is we're also shown the origins of the Red Skull, which, again, points this movie. It actually does like
yeah, that's Red Skull. I'm gonna say it right now though. Red Skull in this, and I texted you this because I was live texting him my entire reactions. I was like, he looks like a fucking clown.
No, he really does.
I was like, I get it, we're going 90s, it's on a budget.
Yeah.
He looks fucking awful.
Yeah. Like, and the other big thing is he's Italian.
You want to know my biggest complaint, too? Another complaint I had in the very beginning of this? Like, half of the dialogue in the opening, and I know what it's going to sound like when I say this. Stay with me, though. I have a point. The opening dialogue in all of this is, like, either Italian or German.
Yeah.
And they give me no fucking subtitles.
Yeah.
Now I know what some are going to say. Well, what, you want them to speak English? No, I want some fucking subtitles so I can read what they're saying because I don't speak Italian and I don't speak German.
Yeah, which
because that's a pet peeve of mine is when I'll watch movies and it'll be like set in Germany and they're talking fucking English. Yeah. I'm like, I know it takes me out of it because I'm like, I know for a fact 1940s Germans don't talk no fucking English in normal day-to-day conversation. Yeah. It should be in German. Give me some fucking subtitles so I can read what's going on. Because I want, like I said, I'm in the middle of that. Give me the fucking subtitles. I'm not asking you to change it so it's in English so I can understand, but I also don't want you to just straight up give me another language and not give me anything to understand what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, and I'm sure some people will be like, well, that's supposed to give you like a mystery of what's going on. Like, no. Like, unless this is like...
The mystery is why the fuck I'm still watching the movie and I haven't turned the shit off at this point.
Like, unless this is like a horror movie where, like, one of the things is that someone knows what's happening, but they can't speak English. Yeah. Like, The Thing. Or if it's sort of like a mystery movie where, like, that helps to, not spoil the mystery.
I'm not watching a mystery. I'm watching fucking Captain America.
Yeah.
Like, again, I really wish they had just put some subtitles. Yeah. And they do that later in the film.
Yeah.
When they're in Italy. Yeah. When they're talking with the brother and sister. Or I'm like, why the fuck didn't you put the subtitles like this?
Yeah.
In the beginning of the movie. So I would know what's going on.
My only guess is that they're trying to bury the lead on the Red Skull, which I'm like,
it's not a mystery. Yeah. Like I'm watching a fucking Captain America movie.
Yeah, the Red Skull is he's like his biggest nemesis.
Get his ass beat.
That's like burying the lead on the Joker in a Batman film.
Yeah, they dropped the ball on that one real hard. I mean, and that was, God, like trying to watch that movie, and again, at first I because it was quiet, the mixing on this is not very good.
No.
I'm gonna say that right now. The audio mixing is very fucking bad on this. I mean, they cleaned the footage up. It looks good. It looks nice.
Yeah.
The audio mix, somebody ought to have been fucking fired over that. Because the audio mix is ass.
That sadly probably was just them going with the original audio.
Yeah, but it's complete ass.
Yeah.
If you're gonna remaster a movie, like you need to like.
Well, I almost wonder
not only the audio, you got to do the video. You got to do the whole piece.
Well, I almost wonder if maybe they did, but it was just that bad with the VHS that
you think maybe it degraded that bad.
Like, or even then that it was that bad.
So I I almost doubt. Did they actually have the? Did Shout Factory actually have the master reel for
I
this?
wouldn't be surprised. At least I would believe they would.
It could be, but like I said, like I
Because
mentioned earlier,
you'd be surprised by what Shout Factory can find.
Yeah, so like I turned the volume up because at first I'm thinking like I can barely hear him, so I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not hearing them correctly. So like I went because I had a fan going, so I go turn the fan off. It's hot as fuck. I live up in a loft, so I'm like, I turn the fan off. I'm like, I'm willing to sacrifice the fan just so I can hear.
Yeah.
And then like I'm listening and I'm just like, no wonder I couldn't understand. It's in fucking German. No wonder I couldn't fucking understand what was being said.
Well, you know, the other thing that gets me is they can't put subtitles, but they will put a fucking title card in for every single place. Even places that it's fucking obvious where we are, like the White House.
Yeah, I'm just like, guys.
Like, who the fuck doesn't know what the White House looks like?
For all that budget, y'all could have gave me some fucking subtitles.
Like,
and not just in the movie. Y'all, Shout Factory could have gave me some fucking subtitles for the whole movie.
I don't know why the Blu-ray couldn't have fucking done that, but my God. And the other thing is...
It was weird. I remember texting and be like, I have no setup options. I have play movie, play bonus feature. I have no setup options at all. I'm not asking for no fucking surround sound, but I'm like, can I get some subtitles?
The other thing is there's so many weird plot points in that. Like, the fact where, like, they show what they're gonna do to Red Skull when they... What was your opinion? What was your feelings when they showed the fucking claymation Red Skull rat? When it...
I was like, that is not aged well. That doesn't look good at all.
I'm sorry, the fucking rat monkey from Brain Dead looked better.
Yeah, like I looked at that and I'm like, that looks like ass.
The other thing is, like, apparently, like, they Red Skull like was like playing piano or something, and his
with
family
a wire recorder.
Yeah,
I was like, is that a wire recorded?
Which I'm pretty sure that was outdated by that point. Because
no, they would have used.
They would have still used it.
They were still using.
Okay,
those
I didn't know if they would have.
They used those up to I want to say the mid 50s.
Okay, I did not. Oh, really? I did not know that they were that.
Yeah, I mean, they were mainly like.
I did not know that.
It was mainly.
I apologize
for
then.
like phone taps and shit back then. At least over here. I can't speak for what was going on in the European market, but
yeah.
But I remember looking at that. I'm like, is that a wire recorder?
Yeah. So apparently this takes place like he's like a little kid. So I don't know how much time it has passed, but like.
Well, I mean, the fucking Nazis are there.
Well, yeah. So like this would have to be like.
I think the beginning is actually Italian troops, and then we get Nazis. So I'm like, this.
Well, it's a little weird because like he's much older when we meet Cap. So like, and to be fair, Cap like usually is I think like it's like 42 usually around the time.
Well, I'm also just like
when he becomes the super soldier.
They probably just aged him up using experiments. It wouldn't have surprised me.
I mean that's fine too.
It is a bit jarring.
So it is a little weird when you think about it because like World War II is only like
1939 to 1945.
Yeah, like barely a decade. Like, and that's not me being like, it's just I wonder about the time scale here. But you're right. They could just easily explain. Well, the chemicals aging them up.
Nazis do evil shit.
Nazis do evil shit. Yeah. And to be fair, I think it's always established that Red Skull is using an inferior version of the super soldier serum because that's usually how he's. Well, nowadays that's how it is. Originally, Red Skull was just some asshole with a mask that sprayed people with a gas that gave them his Red Skull. Which is one of the fucking hilarious things whenever you see him fight the Joker in Captain America Batman. Because, like, they both try to gas each other with their special toxins, and they're both immune to it because of the toxins in their bloodstream. I'm like, god damn. Which I'm like, and then the Joker couldn't, like, fucking kill him with a fucking, like, bang gun?
Yeah, really?
Because Joker may be a psychopath. He's an American psychopath. One of these days, I want to find the Batman Captain America comic, because I want us to review that.
I'd be completely down for that, honestly.
Because then it's so cool, because it does the thing where it's the 50s Batman. So it's him and Robin saying, like, chum, and, like, gee willikers, and, like being, like...
So it's like a period piece,
basically. Yeah, because, like, they meet Cap in the 40s. They're fighting World War II. It's amazing. But anyway, we cut to, years later, injured Steve Rogers has has volunteered to be experimented on for the Super Soldier Project. And we get this mopey, like, soap opera. Like, some of the other problems, that this movie feels like a soap opera in places. Particularly, like, the drama because, like, Steve thinks he's going to die, and he promises his girl he's going to come back for her. And it really wrecks the pacing. Would you agree?
No, really, this is the one that really gets me. later on in the movie when he's like hitchhiking to get back to that town.
Oh yeah,
that fucking music was funny.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that because I actually want to. Because especially because the words are so on the fucking nose.
Oh, I know. Like I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, am I really watching this?
My favorite is that scene where he sees the chick in the '80s looking bikini for 1990. He looks completely repulsed by seeing a woman with her ass exposed. Which I'm like, that's not Cap at all.
Yeah. Anyway, so we get Cap, and like you mentioned to me before I watched it, there's zero fanfare for the suit. I mean, he's just in it.
Wait, before
and after he gets the serum.
Yeah, because they take him to like a 50s like a
fucking
diner because that's where it's being like. Again, I'm wondering if the first Avengers homaging that were like it's hidden in an antique shop.
Could be.
And we meet the Doctor who's not the guy like you remember from the first Avenger. It's a woman in this, which nothing against that. I'm just saying as differences.
It's a difference.
Yeah. And I love it because they inject him with it and then they, I guess, expose him to a film light because this is not the fucking Vita Ray. They expose him to like this, what's clearly supposed to be like a film light. He's just like, ah! Like, the acting is really bad. Like, I'm sorry, this Cap has no charisma or, like, skill at all. Like, say what you will about Red Brown, but at least Red Brown was, like, like, young.
Yeah.
This guy, who apparently is, like, the son of, like, a famous actor, I think, like, Ralph Salinger or something like that. But, like, I love it. He gets turned into Captain America. This dude goes up to the Doctor, and he's like, I just want to congratulate you. And then he Sig Heils and shoots the woman. He's like, congratulations, Heil Hitler! I'm like, what?
Wow, I'm like, okay. Like, that was one of those scenes where the volume was so low, and I'm like sitting there like, kind of watching it, kind of got the computer going, so like, I'm kind of like, that happened, and it about blew my fucking like sound out. I'm like, oh fuck! So, like, I'm turning the volume down immediately.
No,
I'm like, god damn!
No, I just love how
scared the shit out of me.
I just love how fast he goes from congratulations
to just
Heil Hitler.
It just goes from okay to just Nazi.
It's like I'm watching an episode of fucking Hogan's Heroes. Like it's like Schultz is like, Herr Hogan, I just want to say congratulations, Heil Hitler. Like, it's like a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon. Like, what the fuck?
We've hit our quote on you saying how Hitler. Please don't do that again.
I'm sorry. It just makes me laugh every time just how fast he does
how he just goes from 0 to 90 in a second.
0 to Nazi.
0 to Nazi in 2 seconds.
That's good. We're going to use that more because that's fucking hilarious. But, yeah, and then, like, literally cut to them like, like, he's the only super soldier we got. Also living that he may not be Superman. You're right. He's certainly not Superman. I'd rather watch that. Like, I love that they reference him. Like, don't reference a good film in this fucking piece of shit.
Superman 7. I'd rather watch the fucking, like, George Reeves Superman and watch this shit.
Fuck, I'd rather watch Quest for Peace.
That fucking says something. This man would rather watch Man of Steel.
Like, I'd rather watch Batman v Superman, Dawn of, like, whatever. But yeah, and so basically...
I could be watching fucking Serial Batman.
Yeah.
But I'm watching this shit instead.
But basically, he gets them to agree to let him go on this mission to stop the Red Skull. Because the Red Skull's planning some sort of attack on America. And literally smash cut to them on the helicopter, and Steve is just in the Captain America
plane.
Or on the plane. What did I say?
Helicopter.
Sorry, I meant plane. I don't know why I said helicopter.
Well, I remember texting you. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to knock points off because those patches are not era accurate.
Yeah, because that's
gonna knock that shit. There was a lot wrong with this movie, but damn it, as a historian, I am taking great personal offense to that.
But then, like the corporal that's who looks a lot like Howard Stark, is like talking to him, and then he's wearing the cap suit under his military fatigues, and I'm like, no, you can't just jump to him wearing that. Like,
give me a little fanfare here. Give me a montage at least.
Because look at this. You can't just jump into that. He looks fucking ridiculous. And I'm someone who likes the suit. The worst part is those ears that are sticking out.
Those aren't real ears.
Those are rubber ears. Like, just don't put them there. Like, even the fucking Marvel Cinematic Universe knew that Having his ears stick out looks fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that looks fucking ridiculous. We're not gonna do that shit. That shit looks whack.
I also love how Cap in there was like, do you think we could have done a different design? It may be a little outlandish, but she did love America. I'm like, love America, she might. That's gonna get him fucking killed.
She loves America's ass.
I mean, yeah. It's like, you know, I know that that's what he wore in the comics. But if we're doing a realistic movie, he sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, and he would get gunned down by machine gun fire real fucking quick. Like, and don't get me wrong, like, this motherfucker is like going through Castle Wolfenstein and shit.
Give me a Wolfenstein movie, but it's just Steve fucking murdering Nazis. They would make bank.
You know, just if you're real desperate for money, just call DC up and be like, hey, do you want to do a Captain America Sergeant Rock movie where they're just inglorious bastardsing it through France or something?
You know, DC's hard up. They would do it.
Yeah, no.
Like, okay.
They would.
Sounds like a great idea.
But, so, we come to one of the stupidest scenes where they parachute him down. And he has to get past the light. So he uses the shield.
My God, listen, he had warned me about how fucked up and stupid the physics of the shield in this work, even compared to the 70s one.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, it can't be that bad. And I watch it, I'm like, what the fuck? I remember text. Let me find my actual text.
Because he uses his shield to knock down this, which, to be fair, I believe
it's obviously CGI'd in. It's not real.
Yes, and it doesn't even look like it touches the thing. And then it crumples like an obvious fucking model. Yeah, I saw that. And then it crumples like an obvious fucking model. That's the thing that gets me every time I watch that scene. I'm like, oh, this movie didn't do real well? I wonder the fuck why. Like, oh my God. No, it just looks like ass. I'm assuming you agree?
It looks fucking awful.
And then, oh, okay, I know you're trying to get to... And so, you know, eventually, Cap makes his way into the Red Skull's, hideout. And I forget exactly what he's talking about,
Okay, here we go.
Because I watched review clips of this, because I've watched this enough to remember the main points, but... Basically...
I want to read some of my reactions, because these are kind of funny.
You know what, let's take a moment to...
Okay, here we go. Okay.
These are his first-hand reactions as he's...
watching 1990 Cap, and there's a fucking wire recording in the opening. Also, the Blu-ray has no subtitles for some fucking reason. Well, that Ranger tab is fucking inaccurate.
Oh, yeah, I remember you
These patches are fucking terrible. Christ, I know that's me ripping apart a 90s World War II movie, but Jesus, that's Farb.
Yeah.
To which Adam was like, bro, trust me, that will be the least of the film's problems. It makes F-Troop look legit.
Which I was like,
you know what is the fuck was the shield's physics there?
Yeah.
Gravity just don't fucking apply. Holy fuck, Reb Brown's at least looked plausible. Oh my fucking God. Then it's like, Adam's like, no, I know, just wait till you get to how they freeze him. And I said, Red Skull doesn't look too bad. Oh, just wait. Not fucking fantastic, but passable. This is all caps, did these fucking Nazis just weld him to a V2 missile?
My response, yup.
Oh, this ass.
I told you.
Bro, what the fuck? I know this was on a budget, but holy fuck, that's dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Okay. This is where I really lost it. Okay, I'm about to chimp. How does kicking the fucking fuselage change the direction? How the fuck? Also, fuck these kids. This one looks like a complete bitch.
All right, we've already got... So basically, Cap tries to fight Red Skull. And Red Skull, which... He doesn't look terrible.
But he doesn't look great.
He kind of looks like... I don't want to say it to be kind of rude. He kind of looks like a bloody pus bubble. Which says something, because I know Red Skull looks much better in the MCU, obviously, but here it looks like they just put a big mask on him and then spray painted it red. It looks kind of wet too.
Two more comments because these are funny.
All right.
This is the fakest fucking German accent I've ever heard.
Well, yeah, because he's Italian.
That's all caps. I also love the fucking German dialogue that I can't fucking understand because they won't put fucking subtitles over it. My God.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing that happens when him and I have to watch movies separately. We
my
just
God,
text each other.
I know I said that was the last one, but the one about the main character, I need to read because I need that on record.
Oh.
Oh my God, the other kid. Those fucking glasses as an adult. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, I know.
Fuck out of here.
But anyway.
Jesus.
Anyway. So yeah, like.
I can tell I was pissed about the subtitles a lot.
So yeah, like, Cat manages to fight off the soldiers, but then he gets to Red Skull. Because Red Skull technically is, like, as strong as him.
Oh, he's the boss, obviously.
Well, not only
He's
that,
the
like,
boss battle.
because they both were made from the Super Soldier Serum, he keeps calling Cap his brother throughout all of this. Which I'm like, that's not a thing with the Red Skull. The Red Skull just fucking hates him.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, Cap doesn't kill on a kid. Every time he fights the Red Skull, he tries to kill that motherfucker. Granted, none of us will feel bad because he's a Nazi.
Yeah, all Nazis deserve to die. So.
And then I'm pretty sure if the Avengers found out he killed Red Skull, ain't none of them going to be like, yeah, no. Going to be like, whatever gets me is that...
Natasha just being like, I hope it was painful.
What gets me is that I'm just like, you know what really would do it? If just Steve threw Red Skull into a room with Magneto. Magneto wouldn't even... He'd just be like, you guys are just going to let me do it?
No, listen, they throw him in a room that's just nothing but metal pipes.
Yeah.
So fucking Magneto could just completely destroy this
Magneto's just going to be like, well, by the time I get through with you, there's ain't going to be nothing to bury you.
Nothing left.
No, like, I don't understand why we just don't have Magneto kill Red Skull.
I think that'd be fucking... I want to see a comic where that happens. Have those two fight.
Like just have even Professor X be like, you know, Eric, I know I talk about your anger and your rage, but
this time it's acceptable.
fuck him up, Eric.
Fuck him up.
For me. No, Charles. I do this for myself.
For England, James?
No. For me. But anyway.
Damn it, I want to go home and watch Goldeneye.
So, yeah, and they strap him to, like, what missile did you say it was?
I'm almost positive it's supposed to be a V2, but it is the stupidest fucking looking V2 missile I've ever seen in my life.
I'm like, this is like a fucking plot for like a Batman, like the 60s Batman show.
Yeah, I was like, the fuck, man? Am I going to get a cliffhanger at the end of this?
My favorite part is he's also like, where the big bomb going? White House. So I'm like, would that missile even be able to make it across the pond to like hit the...
No.
Like, cause that's not like an ICBM.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it was the very early version of it, but
yeah, but
they weren't even accurate when they were using that shit to hit England.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's no way.
Yeah, the first one, they were getting to a point where you could shoot them down with planes.
Yeah. But basically, you know, he starts launching the rocket. So Cap grabs him by the arm. He's like, two can go just as far as one, you bastard. And I'm like, also, he's going to take Skull with him. Admirable. But then, as the rocket's launching, Skull gets desperate and cuts his own fucking hand off with a knife, which I'm like, that must have been a sharp fucking knife.
That must have been a sharp
to go
fucking
through
knife.
the entirety of your arm and bone, which, like, you know, that's why guillotines have to be so fucking sharp and, like, heavy, because, like, it's actually really hard to cut through a knife, through a neck, just going through there. Cut to the Washington, D.C. with helpful text, despite the fact everyone who's watching this knows what the fucking White House looks like.
Yeah, really.
Even most Europeans know what the fucking White House looks like. We also get this scene with these kids because one of them grows up to be president in the 90s.
What is he? He's President Kimball.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm texting you. I'm like, President John Kimball.
And
he loves his car.
He loves his car. I wish Arnold would have been the fucking president.
That would have been fucking way more fucking entertaining.
Fuck, I wish Arnold was fucking Captain America in this. Imagine a fucking...
I'd pay money for an Arnold Cap movie. That'd be fucking hilarious.
I know I have the accent. It's okay. I'm for the Americans. But and so this kid like is like, I want to go see. How can I sleep, Mom? We're in our nation's capital. I'm like, no fucking kid that little gives two shits about this nation's politics. I don't even care if it is the 1940s. No little kid gives two shits about that. He's just waiting for the next episode of like The fucking Shadow on the radio. And so, as the missile is about to hit the White House, the kid sneaks out.
I'm sorry, off topic. You need to see that.
Thank you. And so, would you mind explaining the scene while I recover for a moment? About like the rocket and the kid watching.
Oh my god. So the rocket's heading for the White House and Cap is like, I can just start kicking the fucking fuselage and it'll make the rocket change direction. I'm like, that's not how that works, but okay.
And then
if anything that would actually make it blow up, I'm pretty sure.
And then somehow this rocket, which has already traveled from like Italy or wherever the fuck it was, I can't remember.
In German occupied territory.
Flew all the way to Washington, D.C. Due to gets shot to, like, I guess, the Canadian North Pole, or Alaska, I can't remember where.
It's Antarctica. Or,
the Arctic?
Yeah, it's the Arctic. It's the Arctic North.
Yeah. So it gets sent to the North.
I'm like, there's no fucking way. I even have issues believing that the plane in Black Widow, spoilers, by the way, can fly from Ohio to Cuba on a tank. I don't believe that for a fucking minute. They stopped somewhere and refueled that shit.
Well, then
there's no fucking way.
I mean, to be fair, Milena is pretty smart and scientific, so you could always.
There's no fucking way. I'm sorry.
I know.
I spend my disbelief on that, but there ain't no fucking way.
No,
and it's just, it's the same here. There's no way that works.
Like, yeah. And so he gets frozen. And then we cut to, of course, 40 years later, where the little boy grew up to be president.
We get this fucking recap of American history. I'm like, thanks for this.
And his best friend grows up to be Ned Beatty. You know, Deliverance Ned Beatty. I'm like, how the fuck did you get Ned Beatty for this movie? Like, that dude had, like...
budget went.
Yeah, I even told him that. I'm like, that must have been where most of the budget for this movie went, was Ned fucking Beatty. Oh, and that and getting, like, the dad from A Christmas Story. No, I love it because the dad and the mom from A Christmas Story are in this movie, which is fucking weird to watch. I'm like...
Whack.
And of course, because, you know, it's in the 90s, it's all about fucking, like, environmentalism and, like, shoving it down your throat. Which I'm not against environmentalism, but 90s environmentalism is, like, fucking obnoxious to sit through as someone who watched Captain Planet as a little kid. Like, and again, I'm pro-environment. But you watch enough environmentalist 90s crap, every once in a while you want to go out and burn a fucking tree down. like you want to just go out into a forest.
You don't want to watch Don Cheadle, Captain Planet review it?
That's different. That is very much different. Like, you watch fucking Fern Gully enough times, you know what? We don't need the rainforest.
I haven't seen Fern Gully since like 2003, and I think I'm better for it, honestly.
No, you legitimately watch it. You just want to be like, no, I want to burn the rainforest down. Like, that is how bad it is.
Anyway, getting back on track.
Yeah, basically the bad guys are working with the Red Skull, who is no longer the Red Skull. He now has a normal looking face, other than, like,
he still looks like a fucking clown.
He also looks like an 80s villain, like with the slick, like, ponytail hair,
like full on, like, out of, like, License to Kill.
And apparently he banged a whole bunch of women because, like, all of his daughters are like these fucking sexy Italian model assassins.
So I was like, oh, okay.
I'm like, what the fuck? Because they all call him Papa.
Obviously, fucking Red Skull got some good game, I guess.
I mean, it is kind of accurate, because technically I think the Red Skull does have a daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, anyway.
She becomes Madam Hydra later, but yeah. So, like, their whole plan is they want to kidnap the president so that they can pollute? Which I'm like, that's your big fucking plan, Red Skull?
They couldn't have come up with a better fucking idea for
like, his whole thing is about world domination. You couldn't have... Which you could have just easily fucking done. And so basically, like, because, like, the father from A Christmas Story is actually working for the Red Skull, and he, I guess, wants to take over the government or something. I don't fucking remember.
It's such a convoluted plot.
And basically, they're trying to do that. Meanwhile, up in the North Pole, they finally find Steve in the rocket after 40 years. And yeah, he survives because, the super soldier serum allows him to, I guess, go into, a hibernative state. Don't ask, it never made sense in the comics either.
Suspended animation floating around on a block of ice.
Just shut up and drive. And they wake him up and, they're about as shocked as, unfreezing Ronald McDonald from a block of ice would be. I can't believe we just found a fast food mascot. We just unthought him. Thank God these guys found him and not the guys from The Thing where they would have just fucking lit him on fire with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
He just fucking wakes up and starts moving. Well, eventually he somehow makes his way into Canada. And then is found by Ned Beatty. Or no. This is actually even before that. So we then get this dumbass montage set to this weird R&B song that literally all the dialogue is about him trying to get back to his girlfriend. And it's I'm in search of America.
Yeah, that song, I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is so fucking bad.
And it's just this montage.
At that point, I wasn't impressed with the movie at all. And then it got to that, and I'm like, all right, we're hitting all the checklists on the shit list now. I'm getting some cheesy song that is on the nose. It's not even a good song.
It almost sounds
as well put fucking Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. over this shit.
It sounds like some sort of cheap ass Billy Joel rip off. Almost expecting him to be and they're burning down in Allentown.
No, Billy Joel would be like, you ain't using my fucking music for this shit.
Well, eventually he gets found wandering America. It never makes sense how he gets from the North Pole to America because there's a continent between the two.
Well, at that point the ice caps hadn't melted, so he probably just walked.
I mean, yeah, but even then he still has to walk through Canada. Even after
it's possible.
It's possible.
He's a superhero. Anything's fucking possible.
He's not Superman or the Flash. He's really powerful, but he ain't that powerful. But anyway, eventually he's come across by Ned Beatty because him and the president because there's a news story that explains they found Captain America. I don't know how they know Captain America because he went on one fucking mission, one fucking mission, and he went why would the government even fucking
give a shit?
Yeah, because he was a failed project. And so him and the dude are oh, we gotta get Cap back. We need Cap for we have to save America. And so he sends Ned Beatty, this random ass reporter, and eventually he finds him with his little shitmobile.
While his Cap's getting chased by these hot women on dirt
bikes, fucking
shooting at him, and I'm like, what am I watching?
Yeah.
it's so remotely removed as being a superhero movie at this point.
Yeah. Well, he gets rescued by Ned Beatty. I just love saying the phrase, he got rescued by Ned Beatty. And thank you. This is getting a little hot in here. And so eventually Ned Beatty talks to him and he basically gives the address of the woman he loved. And he's talking about it's been 40 years. And so, Cap's could you pull over? I think I'm going to be sick. So you think, okay, maybe he's freaking out or anything. What he's actually doing is having the guy help him get out of the car so that he can use his super soldier speed to run back and steal this dude's car. And he doesn't do this one time either. Captain America fakes being sick twice in this movie to jack someone's car. Now, Colton, if I may ask a rhetorical question, do you envision Captain America jacking someone's car? At least like this?
Yeah, I say not like this, because there is the line in Winter Soldier.
Yeah, they'll do whatever it takes.
Going to steal a car, Nazi Germany.
Oh my god, that's probably a reference to this fucking movie.
You're just why?
Why do you guys keep referencing this pile of shit? Oh my god. And so he of course gets to meet his girl, who is still alive, because I mean she'd probably be like 70 or
Yeah, a lot of World War II people were
Yeah, it was
around
probably
that age.
like-
Were still alive back
yeah,
then.
because they would have been like 60s or 70s or whatever age. And of course she's here and old. And by here and old, I mean in the most obvious looking old person makeup fucking ever. Like, not helped by the fact that the actress also plays her granddaughter. So you can see both of them at the same time and know that's just the same person in shitty makeup.
It's obvious because they're never in the same scene with one another.
Yeah. And also, they make her look so fucking 80s. And I know this is 1990, so this is right around the time the 80s is trying to die. Like, the chick in the bikini in the montage has, like, the most 80s cut bikini.
Yeah, really.
Which I think even by that point, they wouldn't have been wearing that. And so, like, we get this, once again, we completely stop the movie to have this soap opera bullshit where she married someone else and she has a family. And
I waited 16 years.
and I'm so old. I'm like,
I'm just
who
like,
fucking cares?
it's so forced that it's not interesting at all.
And then Cap's like, basically Cap is like, oh, don't worry.
Like, I'm not even the biggest fan of, like, Peggy and Steve in the MCU,
Yeah.
but at least that's at least a little bit interesting. Rather than this, that just feels so fucking forced.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and again, like you said, we dragged the plot down
Yeah.
for this, and I'm just like, I'm like, get back to stuff happening.
Yeah, and then of course she has a granddaughter that looks exactly like her so that he can bang the granddaughter, which
Of course.
doesn't have any weird, like, say what you will about them setting Cap up with, like,
With
Peggy's,
Sharon.
like, cousin.
Niece.
Or niece, which still has some really kind of awkward, implications.
They should have just done Sharon from the start. I'm still gonna say that to the end of days.
Or say fucking just have him banging Black Widow.
That I also would have been more than fucking fine
As
with.
someone who watched the Ultimate Avengers cartoons where they eventually just get together and have a kid, I'm like, I would have personally liked, a little bit of easing the tensions between the West and the East, as it were. And so, eventually the president gets kidnapped.
Because of course.
And the Red Skull sends his daughters / hitwomen, to kill Cap's...
Furies.
Is that what they're called?
That's just the term.
Oh,
There's a book I have called Hitler's Furies that's about women in the Third Reich.
that would have actually been kind of hilarious if they were called that, though. But he sends his hitwomen, and they murder Cap's old girlfriend's entire family except the daughter.
Well, the dad lives.
Oh, yeah, he does. But
Yeah, they shoot him in the shoulder. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh.
But and so Cap's like, all right, I'm gonna have to get some revenge on Red Skull, and also rescue the president. And so somehow Steve gets a passport and flies to Italy.
We got to remember, before that,
Oh yeah.
we're at the diner again.
Oh yeah. And actually, you might have to.
Because we get, remember, they go back to the diner where the super soldier serum happened. Steve breaks through the fucking wall,
Oh yeah.
gets
Okay.
to it, and then we have this fucking huge fight scene between them all.
Oh yeah, and it's all in the dark.
Yeah, and I'm like, what am I watching? A fucking Zack Snyder film?
Yeah, like it's so.
where he doesn't know any fucking lighting?
It's like Fan Four Stick. It's like that scene where like they're talking in the building and it's all dark. It's like, turn on a fucking light again. And to be fair, I get why it's all in shadows because all the action scenes in this are fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Like they clearly didn't have like enough trained stuntmen to do it, so they had to do really bad editing, which is really prevalent in the final fight of this film.
Making it look like a fucking direct-to-video Steven Seagal film.
Well, it cuts so much, it looks like I'm fucking like doing like a flip book.
It really does.
I'm like, fuck. And so, yeah, they have that, and then
Then they go to Italy.
yeah, they go to Italy, which I don't know how Steve got a fucking passport. He has no identification,
Yeah.
but he gets there for anyway. That's what I like to think what happens whenever movies can't explain something. They go, oh well, he did it by anyway. So, which is hilarious because the daughter comes along with him because she wants to get revenge for her mom and her family. And of course, Steve tries to get information from the Italians by speaking to them in English.
And again, right here we start getting subtitles, and I'm like, fuck you people, where were these in the beginning of the movie?
Well, and it's probably the most American thing I've ever seen Steve do, was trying to ask for questions in English to people who do not speak it. Despite
the last time I was here, people were shooting at me.
Yeah. Well, then, to be fair, in comics, Steve actually knows, like, multiple languages.
Yeah.
So basically, he has to have the daughter help him, which leads into, like, I think, isn't this where the scene where he gets chased on a bicycle? There's like a...
Yes, it's that scene, which I'm sitting there and I'm like, really? This is what we went with?
It was like, they're chasing with the dirt bikes again, and he jacks somebody's bicycle.
Instead of just stealing the fucking dirt bike, would have made way too much sense and probably would have looked cooler.
Yeah. And of course, then there's also the scene where they're chasing him down an alleyway, and these two kids are playing ball as this chase is happening, and it is the slowest fucking, like, car chase I've ever...
Well, I'm watching that, and I'm just like, you're telling me this dude got a fucking Porsche 911. That's what that looks... That's what that car is. It's a Porsche.
Yeah.
And he can't get more than, like, what, 30, 50 mile an hour? Are you shitting me?
Because, again, like, they
That's
don't...
a fucking exotic. That shit could do well over 100.
Yeah, there's, like, no stuntman or, like... So, like, they have to do this slow because they don't want to hurt the kids.
This is where the rest of the budget went, was getting the fucking Porsche.
My favorite part is, like, this like, clearly bad thing is happening, and those two kids are just playing ball. Like, I know kids don't have, like, the survival and
situational awareness.
But even if, like, I, at that age, would have been like, oh, shit, there's a car coming. We got to get out the way.
Yeah.
Just so, like, they can do a scene where Cap rescues the kids. Well, after this scene, we get the second carjacking scene where he makes the daughter leave because he's like, I can't let you get hurt. Because they figure out where he is also because they find this dude who can repair the wire recording. So they like, the guy can figure out from, like, the piano recording, because I think he was like...
I'm like, I think there's only a fucking handful of motherfuckers in the world, like, that know how to fix them damn things.
There's no fucking way this guy could fucking repair. Like, and again, it's such a scene that drags the film down, because we have to sit there and watch him repair this fucking... Like, now do you see why I didn't want them to make him watch us build the web shooters in Spider-Man films? Because I didn't want this shit happening.
Yeah, because it drags it down.
And... Like, I'm going to kind of cut ahead because, like, there's not much more that happens. Like, eventually Red Cross... Or, I almost wanted to call him
the Red Cross.
This would have been a much different movie if it was actually the Red Cross as a front for Hydra. But the Red Skull, betrays the father from A Christmas Tale. He's like, I'm just going to kill the president and, I'll pollute as much as I fucking want. Like, he's fucking, like, loot and plunder from Captain Planet.
I'm just like, what the At this point, I've, like, zoned so much out of this movie, and I'm just like, this is so fucking boring.
And now we come to one of the worst pieces of editing him and I have ever fucking seen. And that says something, because you and I have seen...
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, we sat through Dark Phoenix, where Cap is scaling this Italian chalet that the Red Skull and his supermodel henchmen are in.
Yeah.
And we get some of the worst fucking fight scenes. Like, this
is the part right where the fucking president jumps off the fucking thing, and Cap catches him and throws him inside. I'm like, pretty sure you would have ripped his arm off, but okay.
Well, especially because I love the president. He's like, I would rather die than help you. I'm like, bro, you're the president of the United States. You can't just, like, die. Like, what if your vice president sucks?
JFK, that's where you're wrong, bucko.
Well, yeah. But, well, then I also love that Red Skull, this was responsible for the JFK assassination in this, which I'm like, fucking how? This Red Skull sucks.
It's not even like a good mystery like it is in Days of Future Past.
Well, it's not even like fucking Winter Soldier, where he has, like, a fucking, like... He has the fucking resources to fucking, like, send him to, like, kill people.
Here, it's just like, that came out of nowhere and never be brought up again.
Oh, yeah, he also killed Martin Luther King Jr. for no fucking reason.
And RFK. I'm like, okay, cool. You want to pin fucking, I don't know, fucking, Malcolm X's death on this, Princess Di. You want to just add some more to this body count?
Fuck, was he the reason Waco happened?
Oh wait, Princess Di hadn't been killed at this time yet.
Oh, yeah.
She was still alive yet. She hadn't died in the car crash.
Yeah.
Never mind.
But, like, they got a sequel. They would have said that he was responsible for Queen Di's death.
Yeah, they probably would have. Anyway,
and so like we get to this scene where Cap and the Red Skull are fighting again which also has this hilarious scene where like the president like rescues Cap from like getting killed by one of the henchmen, and of course we get the most infamous scene from this movie where he's like, "Mr. President, thanks."
Yeah,
and it looks so.
This whole sequence just is so. Like, I think I was texting you at this point. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's worse, the boring shit in between the action sequences, or the action sequences that are there just to remind me that I'm watching a movie.
Yeah.
About Cap, because they're not even that well done.
Yeah, and so basically it comes down to like the Red Skull and one henchman, but the Red Skull starts shooting at Cap, and every single motion in this is a cut. Like it's not like we're getting fluid literally every single motion in this is a cut. You see the Skull picking up his gun, cut to Cap going for the shield. You see him loading the gun, cut to Cap getting closer.
Yeah, it's like it just doesn't look good at all.
It clearly was that they couldn't make the scene look good without someone getting hurt, so they just chopped it up really fast in the hopes
Probably
that you
thinking it would look cool. Like maybe they did like the Ang Lee panel thing.
Yeah,
it looks just as ass here.
No, and it looks like a badly edited shot. Like even if you don't know anything about films, it looks really weird. And it also has this really dumb moment where like he's shooting at Cap and Cap is rolling behind his shield. Which I'm like, that could have been cool if it was like done fast. But it's not. And so eventually they get to the roof, and Cap manages to knock both the henchman and Red Skull out by playing the audio recording, which makes Skull stop for a moment because he remembers the audio. And literally, oh yeah, and also the daughter gets here because she helps out too. I think she fights one of the henchwomen.
Yeah, then fucking Cap throws the shield and like knocks him the fuck off the castle.
Yeah, he kills the henchman and Red Skull both in one swing.
I totally don't believe that was a fucking mannequin.
Yeah. Yeah, a very
the way
obvious
it
mannequin.
I was like, what the fuck? That looks fake.
And then we get the scene where he takes the mask off finally, and he helps the president. And then after he catches the shield, he actually does this little look, and he looks at the fucking camera. He breaks the fourth wall. Like he literally looks at the camera and smirks, and I'm like,
no fourth wall breaks here.
No, you're not Deadpool.
Shit, you're not She-Hulk either.
Yeah, like God.
Out of here.
Oh my God, and it's so obvious too, because yep, ladies and gentlemen, I sure did that. And then he turns. And of course, he takes the mask off. And he tells the president who he is. He embraces the daughter / now new girlfriend, and then it smash cuts to him in the cowl again, and he stares at the camera as
it turns into a drawing.
Yeah, and we get like this narration about like the news. I can't remember what it was about.
And it's on the back of the cover. It's like, Captain America, wherever you are, we're back in the fight. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, especially because
what are you talking about?
And that's how it ends. It is the most incomprehensible ending I've ever fucking seen.
Dark Phoenix had a better ending.
Yeah, Dark Phoenix did have a better ending than this. I'm pretty sure this is like the worst film we've ever reviewed on this channel. I can't even think of a movie worse other than Dark Phoenix.
I'm really I mean, we didn't like Ang Lee Hulk, but we were at least acknowledged there were some good bits in there.
Yeah, like I actually do think this is worse than the Ang Lee Hulk, because at least
TASM 2?
I think
is it worse than TASM 2?
I gotta be honest, I think a little bit, because at least with TASM 2 we actually get like decent fights, and like the in between stuff actually, well, annoying and kind of stupid. at least as well acted.
Because we've never done Quest for Peace, so that we've got to throw that one out the window.
I actually, I would rather watch Quest for Peace, even than we haven't reviewed it.
So this might actually be, as of right now, the worst movie we've ever fucking reviewed.
Like, I would rather watch Birds of Prey. I hated that film.
That fucking says something.
I would rather watch Birds of Prey again, because at least Margaret Robbie is, as Harley Quinn, is entertaining.
Yeah, so, all right, let's move on to ratings. I'm going to give this solid 2 out of 10. I was legitimately bored to tears. I try to be pretty fair.
Yeah.
I thought I was pretty fair with the Red Brown movies.
Fuck, you were able to, like, sit through Origins Wolverine better than I could.
Yeah, I mean, like, this, again, like Red Brown 1, it commits a cardinal sin for me, which is with not only superhero movies, but any movie, is that I'm bored.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to force myself to watch the movie because, like, oh, well, I started it. I gotta finish it. If your movie bores the fuck out of me,
yeah,
you have failed as a film creator.
No, I agree as well.
Your film is chiefly to entertain.
Yeah.
If I'm not entertained, you have failed the requirement.
And I award
you no points.
I always say this about bad
films.
films. If a bad film is entertaining, I don't mind it being bad.
I mean, like X-Men Origins Wolverine, I argued it's a bad movie. There's some bits in there that are entertaining to me, at least. I was at least entertained watching it.
Like, hell, Batman and Robin is not a great film,
but it's entertaining.
It's entertaining. I fucking have a laugh the whole way through.
We quote it all the fucking time.
Yeah, like terrible movies to me is one that is banal and it's bland. Like the worst movies that you and I have never seen, but I have, like stuff like the Astro Zombies, the Castle of Fu Manchu that I mentioned in the previous review. Yeah, the previous review. Like
Dracula AD 1972. Yeah. That movie is ass. I've actually watched that.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking terrible.
Like, they are so, like, Castle of Fu Manchu was so boring, Mystery Science Theater could not make that movie entertaining. And they had sat through some shitty movies. Like, that was how bad that is for them. Like, it was so dull. Astro Zombies has a 20-minute scene of a motherfucker taking apart and putting back together a computer. Yeah.
I want to say, wasn't there something we started and turned the fuck off because it was so boring?
that weird space movie thing No, that wasn't it. We turned that off because it was weird.
We've never watched any of that.
No, Kroll?
Oh yeah, Kroll. That movie was so fucking boring we turned it off.
I think that was more, it was just kind of weird. It was
that was like, I'm like, I want to watch something else because
yeah.
You and I were both like, are you enjoying this? No, let's watch something else.
I think there was something else though, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
I'm thinking it was Kroll.
You think it was Kroll? Okay.
I think it was Kroll.
But like, yeah, I'm gonna give this a rating of a 1 out of 10. Like, not only just because it was...
I didn't even give mine. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10, and I feel like I'm being generous.
Yeah, I'm giving this a 1, not just because of like how bland it is in certain places. It is shoddily. It's very shoddily put together.
I've seen fan films that are better.
Yeah. From like the bad looking costumes to
the plot
to the editing. It's
the sound mixing is ass. The lack of subtitles is ass.
The fact that like we have to have a title card every 5 fucking minutes to remind us where the fuck we are.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this movie is
complete ass.
Yeah, this is like the bottom of the barrel. I would rather watch the Red Brown ones again. At least like I can excuse some.
I'm entertained.
Yeah. Like, a couple of times in those movies, the boom mic falls in, but like, and there's some weird editing choices there, but other than that, it's more put together than this.
It's at least entertaining.
Yeah, it's at least entertaining. I can enjoy watching young Red Brown. This, I can't even recommend you guys to go watch it. If you have to watch this, watch a review of it. Like there are more entertaining reviewers out there for this than watching this piece of shit.
Yeah, like watch like a highlight reel or some shit.
Like, I can't believe...
I'd rather watch Fan Force stick over this.
I can't believe even Marvel put this out to be like, we have to catch up to Batman. Because that's why they rushed this out. Because like, when it came out in 1990 in Europe.
I can tell it was rushed.
They tried to get the same kind of money that Batman was putting out.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him?
Like, and this one I think came out like after Batman Returns. which I don't think is really
in the
that.
States it did, 92. It was
Yeah.
the same year as Batman Returns. 90 for European release would be right around probably the same time Batman 89 was in theaters.
Yeah, like there's this doesn't compete with Batman. I don't even really.
Doesn't even compete with fucking Quest for Peace.
Yeah, like Batman Returns, I have problems with, is a much more solid piece than this.
It makes Superman Returns look fucking great.
Yeah, it really does. It makes Thor: Dark World look good. I hate that film.
I know you fucking hate that movie.
But yeah, like bottom line, guys, I am sorry we're kind of a little negative on this one.
But again, like I was bored to death.
Yeah, like and again, there's so many better '90s films you could watch. Fuck, go watch Tank Girl. I don't even think that movie's great. That's a comic book movie. Go watch that.
Go watch Blade.
Go watch Blade. I'm trying to
Watch
think
Generation X.
Fuck, go watch Blank Man with Damon Wayans as the.
Go watch the Shadow movie.
Go watch the Shadow movie.
Dark Man. Like
Yeah,
there's
like-
an infinite number of fucking 90s movies you could watch that would be more entertaining.
Yeah.
And you actually would be able to like have some fun watching it.
Hell, Darkman is early 1990s Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
It's like right before he did Spider-Man.
And that movie arose because they couldn't get the Shadow licensing.
Yeah, I know. That's fucking
So he
hilarious.
said, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Which, yeah. Anyway, I think that's pretty much going to do it. When we come back, guys,
We're going to be looking at some actual good stuff.
movies. Yeah.
And we might have a surprise guest star for that one. But until then,
Wait,
I'm
Will?
Average. Riley said he wanted to be in it.
Oh, yeah.
You ruined the surprise, Adam.
I'm sorry. I was just like, wait a minute, we're having a surprise. I wasn't told this. I'm sorry.
It was supposed to be a surprise, man.
I'm sorry. I would like to know a little bit ahead of time when we're doing this sort of shit.
Anyway, guys, I'm Average Joe Squad.
And I'm Songetsu 134.
And as always,
We ask you,
remember the hyphen.
and take care of America's ass.